Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Hopefully you can hear me. I know it's kind of windy today, but today I'm going to be picking tomatoes because I'm going to can some salsa. So that's what I'm going to work at, and then I'm going to bring you in the house and maybe show you how I can the salsa and what I add to it and all that good stuff. I have all kinds of tomatoes that are ripened. I've already picked the one big batch of these, and I made stewed tomatoes about a week ago. I think I did that. But now there's some more ripe ones, so we gotta keep working at this. These tomatoes are looking like they need a drink of water though. We haven't, well, we got ooh, look at this one. We got about 7/10 of rain about a week ago. I guess it was a week ago, but now that's already gone. So now they could use some more. So my question for you guys is, do you can tomatoes, and what do you usually can? So do you usually can like tomato juice, stewed tomatoes, salsa, spaghetti sauce, ketchup? You know, what do you guys make? Let me know in the comments. Today I'm making salsa, and not just fresh salsa like I have in the past week or so, but today I'm going to be canning salsa. I'm going to be using a different recipe than I have in the past, so we're going to give this a try and I'm going to bring you along. Alright, so I've got my peppers ready and my onions. I'm going to have probably about 3 cups of peppers, 3 cups of onions, and my tomatoes. And I'm going to show you what kind of tomatoes I got. Today I'm using a variety. So this is like a German pink. I also have a German Johnson. And what else do I got? I also am using a paste tomato called Amish paste. And just for color, I have a yellow tomato. And all these tomatoes I have I've put them in some boiling water for 30 seconds to a minute, and then the skins come right off. I'm gonna actually put everything through my food processor, and that way it saves a lot of time on chopping. So I'm gonna start with the peppers and get them chopped up. So what I have first is my peppers. I have several different bell peppers. I have red, I have yellow bells, and these are a very meaty roasting type bell pepper or sweet pepper. I also have these green ones. They're called jalapenos, and these are not hot, so those are gonna get thrown in. I also have a few of these. I also have a handful of this kind, which is it's kind of a spicy. It's not super hot, but I can handle this. I'm not a very spicy person. This is going to be very mild. This is not going to be a super hot salsa, but I do have a handful of really hot peppers that I don't have a name for these either. So I grew these. They're not red, so I don't know how hot they're going to be, but I know I've tried one and they're super hot. So I'm gonna kind of taste it as I go to see the heat, how much heat I want. But I need 3 cups of, my recipe says 3 cups of sweet peppers, any kind of sweet pepper, and then another cup and a half of jalapeno type peppers. But I'm not gonna add the cup and a half of jalapenos, so I'm probably just gonna add more sweet bell peppers. So I'm gonna put them all through the food processor, and then here I have a stock pot that I'm gonna put it in because this all has to go in in one big pot, get mixed up and heated thoroughly. So that's what I'm going to be working on right now. Then I will start in with the onions. The onions will be next and the tomatoes will be last. Okay, I have the tomatoes, the peppers, and the onions all mixed in here. And I've got it on my stove, and I'm going to finish adding the rest of the ingredients and start heating this up. To the stock pot of tomatoes, I'm going to add 3 cans of tomato paste, and these are the 6-ounce cans. This is going to help thicken it. Now I have the heat on just low right now. Okay, get the next ingredient. The next ingredient is white vinegar. I'm going to add 2 1/4 cups. At this point you can add garlic. My recipe says 8 to 9 cloves of garlic. I'm omitting the garlic. Okay, the next thing we're going to add is salt. So I'm going to add 6 teaspoons of salt. Then we're going to add black pepper. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of black pepper. I'm also adding 3 teaspoons of cumin. And I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I might add more once this gets mixed in. I'm going to put about 3 teaspoons of oregano in. There we go. That's everything. That was dried oregano. Now I'm just going to stir this, and I've got it on medium-high heat. We are going to bring this up to a boil. Now I wanted to say that I ran the peppers and the onions through the food processor. I also ran part of the tomatoes through the food processor, but not all of them. I wanted to have a little bit of a chunky salsa, so I cut some of them by hand also. I'll bring you back when this starts boiling. Okay, I'm at a boil right now, so I'm going to turn the heat down and just kind of continue to lightly boil it so it thickens up. And that's going to probably take about 30 minutes. I also wanted to add that while this is boiling, and actually before, when I was cutting everything up, I put all the pint-sized jars in the dishwasher on the sanitize mode, and those are in there, and they'll be hot and ready when this is ready to go in the jars. So I have the jars ready, and then now I'm getting the canner ready so that the water in there is hot, between hot and boiling actually, by the time the salsa has to go into the canner. So working on all of that while this is boiling down a little while, and yeah, we'll bring you back. It's been a half hour, actually it's been about 45 minutes since this boiling down, and I'll show you what this looks like. So looks like this. It's been boiling down. I've been stirring it occasionally just so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And now my water bath canner is ready. The water is boiling in that. This is boiling. I have my lids in some hot water, and I'm ready to get these in the jars. The jars are also hot. Just took them out of the dishwasher. So let's get these jars filled. I let this boil down a little bit longer because I noticed that I wanted it a little thicker. So that's why, if you think it's still a little too runny for your liking, you can just keep boiling it down. And I didn't put a lid on it when I was boiling it, so that way it could evaporate better. I think I'm going to put about 1/2 inch headspace. At this point, the jars are about 1 to 2 inches under the water, and we're going to let this come up to a boil, and then we will set the timer for 20 minutes. These take 20 minutes to process, so we'll bring you back in 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, and these are ready to come out. Now my canner only holds nine pints at a time, and I made 13 pints, so I have to do another canner. But before I do that, I'm working on a second batch of this. I'm going to add those when the second batch is ready to go in the canner. So the first batch actually made 13.5 pints. But this is the 1/2 pint, and I'm just going to add to it when I'm finished with the second batch. This first batch is a very mild, it's very mild in flavor. I only added 1 teaspoon of the cayenne pepper, and it called for like 3. You could you can work with whatever your taste is, but it said 3 to 6 teaspoons, and I only did 1 teaspoon, and it's just nice, not super hot in your mouth. But the next batch that I'm going to work on is going to be a little bit more spicy, not super hot, but it is going to be a little more spicier. So looks like a lot of these already sealed, but I'm going to just keep this water hot. And yeah. One more thing that I'm going to do a little bit different with my second batch is this first batch I thought had quite a bit of liquid in it. If you can see how liquidy this is. My second batch, I actually strained the tomatoes before putting it in my pot, and I had probably maybe maybe 2 quarts of water that came out of that. I'd say 1 quart of water that came out of that I think it'll be a thicker salsa in the long run. So that's what we're looking for. I don't mind a little bit of liquid, this is fine, but I'd also like a little bit thicker salsa also. I'm going to finish what I'm doing here and end the video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Also, thanks for all those comments. Keep them coming in. Let me know how you like your salsa. Do you like it mild, or do you like it super hot and spicy? So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell, and it will notify you every time I make a new video. Alright everyone, till next time, take care. All finished. Ended up with 27 pints. It probably would have been close to 28 but the boys were all trying it out as I was making it to see the spiciness of it, and so I left out some, and we'll have some for supper. But I'm gonna call this good for this year. 27 pints. Did I say quarts earlier? I meant 27 pints if I did. And looks like they've all sealed, and so that's great. Thanks for watching.